Jon Robinson. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Samantha, thanks for having me on your show.
Yes, perfect. So before we start our story, I will first greet our audience. Hello, everyone. Thank you for watching Unique Dream Fighter Motivation Inspirational Wednesday. Again, sharing is loving. There is ups and downs in our life journey, and you will never be alone. We work with you. So through sharing our stories to light up our community, our artistry community, figure skating and dancing. So again, this talk is not just about talk. We focus on solution. We focus on changing our mindset to get our dream on our hands and stay positive, stay hopeful, stay authentic. Today, I have a good friend of mine, Jon Robinson, with me. And let me briefly introduce who is Jon. Jon Robinson has been coached at the ring in Hong Kong. And Jon Robinson also very first figure skater who obtained style ISI level 10 and perform competition public. He will explain it in a little bit. And he also now the director of ISI Asia Hong Kong District. Thank you very much for joining us today, Jon.
Thank you again. I'm happy to be here.
Perfect. We can't wait to hear your story and your inspiration. Before we start, can you introduce yourself in your version so that we can get to know about you more?
All right, introducing myself.
Yes.
I love ice skating and I love people. I started skating when I was 10. That was a little bit of hockey. And then I started figure skating when I was 12. And I did both figure skating and hockey for 5 years. And then I learned something pretty important, that there are more beautiful girls in figure skating. So the hockey had to go down a little bit. So I concentrated on hockey for about 2 or 3 years, and then figure skating took over after that. I did start out in the ice sports industry. It used to be called the Ice Skating Institute of America, and it's more of a recreational program, which I love very much. It's for grandparents to skate, and parents, and children, and just about anybody who can walk can skate and have fun in the ISI, because it is recreational program, and most people in the ISI skate maybe 2 or 3 hours every week, and I think that's pretty good for most people. But then I got involved in the ISU, called the International Skating Union, and I was pretty serious for about 6 years as a single skater. I also did some pairs and ice dance and hockey from time to time, but not really much of that anymore. And then in 1990, I joined Walt Disney on Ice, and I was in that for a year and a half. Loved it very, very much. And then I settled down in Hong Kong. I had been here for the grand opening of one of the shows, the ice rink. It's called Taiku Sing. And that's my first trip to Hong Kong, and I loved it, plus a girl. And so I moved here in 1993, and I've been back to America for a few years. In 2001, I went back to America for about 5 years, and then I came back to Hong Kong. And as you said, I'm the Hong Kong director for the ISI Asia and a senior coach at my rink.
Yes, perfect. And this is how, I still remember first time I skate in a rink called Wangpo. When I saw Jon, I'm like, oh my God, I want to be like him. It's so cool. And he is like often showing off with his backflip in the rink, which before we only see this backflip on the television. And Jon is the one like, oh, do this. It's so cool. So it's remarkable, and making the ice skating scene in Hong Kong is so much more fun and so much more remarkable. For this show, Jon, we want to talk about dream and challenge. In your figure skating journey, is there any challenge for you?
Probably one of my biggest challenges was changing from hockey to figure skating. I had to get used to different skates. I had to get used to costumes. It was fun though, because my mom and my dad helped me a lot. My mom actually made some of my costumes, so that made it easier. I would say that I was quite self-driven, quite self-motivated, because I liked it so much. So practicing was not that hard for me. I loved it. And another thing that I loved a lot is the music. I had no problem. The costumes I had a problem with, but the music made it a whole lot more enjoyable.
Yeah, so it's more like an appearance that make you found very, very difficult to dress like, bling bling. That's your challenge, yeah?
To dress pretty, yeah, that wasn't my style.
Except I know the fact you said in figure skating there's more pretty girls. How did you overcome it?
Did I say that?
You did in the very beginning.
You check your recording, Samantha.
You did not? Oh my God.
Now,
let me go back.
And I have to say, there are some pretty girls playing hockey. There are. Okay. Really. But
right.
Not on my hockey team.
So except the fact that you have to dress pretty, which you're a former hockey player, right? So you have to dress that bling bling clothes. Do you still remember how you feel when you first have to dress like this?
Oh, I guess I was just learning to skate backwards and backward crossovers, a level called beta. I remember that was my first competition, and I liked my outfit. I remember it was black and it had some sparkly rhinestones on it. Nothing like XAMAS though.
Thank you. So except the clothing is the biggest challenge for you during your figure skating journey, is there anything could have made you stop skating? You don't want skating anymore, or for whatever reason?
You asked, was there ever a time that I thought about stopping?
Yes.
Samantha, no.
How would that possible?
It's a short life. You take it by the horns and run with it. Let me think if there was a downtime. No. I think.
How is that even possible? So you've been loving figure skating since you are little until now. You have not even 1 second think of stopping figure skating?
Another thing, Samantha, knock on wood.
Yes.
I did not get seriously injured. I remember one time I sprained my ankle and I was not able to do freestyle for about 3 months. But that actually turned out to be kind of a blessing in disguise, because I worked more on my compulsory figures. And after about 2 months of not doing any freestyle, I passed my highest level ISU figure test in America, the American ISU. So that was a struggle. Like I said, I twisted my ankle falling on a jump and couldn't do freestyle for a couple months, but turned out okay in the end. Silver lining.
Oh my God, you are so positive, basically. You never think of giving up. You injured one time and you found it blessing in disguise. You are very, very positive in figure skating, yes?
I would say so.
Oh my.
Like I said a minute ago, my parents helped a lot. And then I have an older sister and an older brother, and they were also supportive of me. They were also athletes, so they understood the dedication to ice skating that I felt. So I had a lot of people in my corner helping me out, and I enjoyed it.
Can you imagine if you don't have these people back you up? Will you be still so positive?
Good question, Samantha. Probably I would not have done so well, mainly because I had people who were interested in my success or my happiness. If I was on my own, I probably would not have succeeded as much as I did, and I probably would have enjoyed it. But having my parents and my siblings helping me was a good boost. Definitely got me where I am.
Well, a side question: are you good at school when you were young?
I did not get straight A's, Samantha.
Yeah. Okay, but
yeah, I was okay. I was okay, but I do remember that the football players at my high school, they were very, very nice to me because my pair partner was one of the beautiful cheerleaders. So they admired me. They thought figure skating was good to Jon.
Wow. You know why the reason I asked you that? There's two reasons. Because number one, I realized, as you said, the family support to be a successful skater is very, very essential. Would you agree with that statement? Very important to have family support.
I mean, of course, there are skaters who don't have brothers and sisters, and maybe they've lost one of their parents. So you do the best that you can do, but I was one of the lucky ones. Still am.
Definitely you are. Definitely you are. But then when in our society, I don't know if everyone can be lucky like you. As my parents or other, I heard a lot of student parents, they think figure skating is just a hobby. You don't have to take it so seriously because you go to do sports only if you are not good at school.
All right. I heard you say there's a attitude that you only do sports if you're not very good in school.
Mm-hmm.
And
which is not very
that
true.
might exist, and maybe I've seen it. But I know of several cases. I can name a few very high-level skaters who are also very high-level students. Paul Wiley, Richard Daly, I think Nathan Chen. I think he is a student at Yale University. So there are definitely examples of very high-level skaters who are also very scholarly. Samantha, just now I mentioned Richard Daly. He was an ice dancer back in my day from America, and now he's a medical doctor. Like I said, it probably exists. I know that here in Hong Kong, the local schools are quite demanding, but then we also have international schools, and I think that's probably common all over the world. The international schools are private, they cost more money, but they do allow their athletes or their artists to take more time off to focus on their area of expertise.
Yes. If you would like to change something in figure skating world, what would you like to change?
Another good question. If I would change something, what would I want it to be? More boys. That's a little irony.
Get them from the hockey team.
More boys, because in pairs and ice dance, there's an abundance of girls. I will say, again, Hong Kong is kind of a special place for ice skating because I think we have an unusually large number of boys in figure skating. And I guess that might be because of Ted Wilson. It was his rink that he managed in 1987 that drew me to Hong Kong for the first time. So he was the rink manager of that rink I mentioned, Taiku Singh, and maybe his influence made a lot of Hong Kong boys really take to the sport, and we're lucky for it. But I think in most of the world, there's probably 15 girls to every one boy. That's just my guess. So it makes pairs and dance quite frustrating for the girls. And sometimes when they do find a boy to be partner with, the girl is better than the boy. The boy gets quite a pick. So what would I change in the sport? I like the costumes now. I told you that was one of my challenges, but now I'm all with it. I think most of the costumes are quite elegant and tasteful. Yeah, I'm having an easier time now with advances in the costumes, and the ice skates have gotten a little bit better too. But yeah, I think that ice skating is going in a good direction. On some of my, I'll call them internet groups, chat lines, blogs, I've seen comments about ice skating is so demanding, so technically demanding.
Sure.
It's lost some of its artistry. And I don't think so. I think that, most of the champions, the top 10%, 20% of elite skaters, I think they skate beautifully, very dramatically, artistically. So like I said, I've seen people comment that artistry is not as good as it used to be. And, I can think of some skaters from 30 years ago who were super beautiful, Taller Cranston, Katarina Witt. But I think now we have our new generation of skaters who are not only doing amazing spins and jumps, but also beautiful, beautiful artistry. So I think the direction of skating is going well. The new judging system, I shouldn't call it the new judging system. It's 25 years old. But I think it is a little bit fairer than it used to be. So yeah, I think we're doing okay.
You're talking about ISI system or the ISU system?
Well, ISI has always been great. ISI is just simpler. The rules are easier to understand. ISU is trying to find the best of the best. And that's quite a task. They're interested in the minutest little details, which makes it complicated. Whereas ISI is sort of like just get out there, have fun, and show the world what you love to do.
Right. Okay, Jon, this session we are focusing on action, positive action. As you have the background.
You said positive action.
Yes, positive action, right? And solution. So as a former hockey skater, you're the hockey player, swap to figure skating coach and been figure skating for so long. Let's imagine you're also the ISI director, huh? So let's imagine now you're in front.
ISI director only for Hong Kong.
For Hong Kong. Okay, let's say you are now in front of 500 male hockey skater. How are you going to tell them how good is figure skating? How are you going to promote figure skating in front of these boys, 500 boys, hockey skater? How are you going to do this?
Samantha.
I know, Jon.
What did I tell you already is number one?
Yes.
I bring a girl with me.
Oh my God.
If there are 500 hockey boys, of course I need a girl to be with me by my side. Well, I do think that some people enjoy music more than other people. So I would probably play some music and see if the hockey boys can, it's called interpret to it. Interpret means they just skate around, forward, backward, crossovers, just skate around and try and match the music. I think that's an important step from hockey to figure skating. Can you interpret to the music? Samantha, I gotta say though, hockey is a lot of fun. I definitely enjoyed playing hockey, and I still play it like once every week, once every 2 weeks. But yeah, if I had 100 hockey boys wanting to learn about figure skating, the first thing I would do is get my female coach with me.
Oh my God.
And then again, match the music. I think that most good hockey players are strong enough to be a good figure skater. You have to have pretty good body tone, core strength to do the jumps and the spins. But I think most hockey boys are there. I want to say something a little bit funny. I have been asked, did my hockey help my figure skating? And I thought of one instance, and that was in hockey, you get bumped into all the time and you fall down constantly. And I think that made me fearless of figure skating and falling down. Well, I wouldn't say totally fearless, but I was pretty brave. And I think that might have come because of my hockey influence.
Well, I'm not sure. I think it's because your personality is so positive. So then you are unstoppable. You just like to do whatever you like to do. So it's pretty much automatic for you, fearless. Yeah, to me.
Samantha, thank you. I really appreciate that.
I thank you so much for speaking up for Hong Kong skating industry, and your story is always inspire, because you always have this out of the box thinking. I mean, like nobody will ever think of recruit more boys from hockey industry, which is so true. Oh my god! Let me tell you the index. For our clothing business, right? I would say 95% girls and 5% boys, which is already not bad. In China, we have got more than 5% boys, but like overall, it's less than 5%. So you're 15-1, which makes a lot of sense in Hong Kong. So anyway, Jon, thank you so much for your story and your inspiration and your sharing, and really love your unstoppable spirit. You never think of stop doing what you like. And now I would like to ask you, what is your hope for the future skater from Hong Kong, and how people can get in touch with you?
I'm happy to say that the Hong Kong ice rinks opened up after being closed for 3.5 months. We were closed for 3.5 months. Now, yeah. So my first wish for ice skating in Hong Kong is that we stay safe. And I guess I can apply that to the whole world. Social distancing. Now, I understand wearing a mask is hard, especially when you're exercising or doing a sport. But yeah, let's all stay safe and get past this COVID thing. I understand that, maybe someday it'll be like the flu, and we'll be able to live with it and treat it and stay healthy. So first is we have to take care of the current crisis. And then I already told you, most places in the world need more boy figure skaters to match the number of girls. But thinking outside of the box, I like ice rinks in shopping malls. I think that draws, a constant audience. It's more fun than, I call it, isolated ice rinks. I like ice rinks in shopping malls is the way to go. And there have been a few world champions who, well, I don't know about world champions, but a few very high-level skaters who trained in shopping malls. So I hope that more and more shopping malls will invest in some entertainment on ice.
Totally.
Right now, Hong Kong only has one ice rink that's not in a shopping mall. So I think that we're in the right direction, but we only have 7 ice rinks to more than 7 million people, and we need more.
Honestly, when I see the rinks here, I miss Hong Kong. I think, yeah, we don't have the weather, but I think the condition, like you say, I totally agree. Especially when you take the kids, right? You put them in the ring, and then the parents can go to do shopping, high tea, whatever. We can do a whole day in the rink in a shopping mall, and here is pretty different. Like you said, I also wish our standard, our level will increase. It doesn't matter. This is not a winter sport. It is a summer sport in Hong Kong. And also, like, having more new blood is very, very essential. We need more people to know about figure skating. This is something can live with you forever. This is not just, a short period of sports. I hear lots of people say, you don't skate after 50 years old, which is not true.
Yeah, definitely skating is a sport you can do for your whole life. And I have a few more years to go, and I'll keep on skating. But definitely, grandparents and parents, get them on the ice. It's safe. It's, I think, a good thing about being an elderly skater. You know, you can have fun just by stroking and doing crossovers around the rink. Plus, a lot of rinks play music, and I think that makes it a whole lot more enjoyable. You don't need to worry about it snowing or raining. So it can be all weather activity and all family activity. It's
Beautiful.
It's a good sport. Something I wanted to mention, high level ice skating is quite competitive. And I compare it to gymnastics. I don't know much about gymnastics. My older brother was very good. But I think that high level ice skaters practice maybe 4 or 5 hours a day, especially the ice dancers. The ice dancers practice the most, probably 6 or 7 hours a day. But it's a very competitive sport. But then as you get older, you can tone it down a notch. You don't need to do the quad jumps or the triple jumps or even the double jumps. Just get on the ice and skate around with your friends and family and enjoy 1 or 2 hours public time. It's good activity.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Bring us to a totally different perspective, and such a joy here your jokes, and it just feels like home after so many years. Thank you so much, Jon. If any of you wish to stay in touch with Jon, please browse his speaker bio. You've got all his handle over there. And if you want to get to know more, he's currently teaching in the range. You have got some program also partnered with Sunny Man, right? Another coach as well. So please feel free to stay in touch with Jon Robinson. Thank you so much for being here today with us. Thank you so much, Jon.
Well, Samantha, I really enjoy your show. Inspirational skating. We need it. I think you're doing a great job, and I appreciate you inviting me to share with you.
Thank you so much. I'm proud of my hometown, and I'm very proud of you guys. Thank you for working so many years for our figure skating industry, and we need much more people know how good is figure skating, good for our mental health, good for our physical health, which is very, very important. All right, thank you so much. I stay in touch and see you very soon. Bye.
My pleasure.
What's your story? What's your sign? It's like we're twin flames in a different life. Deep connection lights a spark. It's like you know me in the depths of my heart. We're dreamers.